What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and there's a new announcement that you could get $1,000 as much as up to $3,000, and also Representative Ro Khanna. I've got an interview that you're not going to want to miss, as he is posing the question: how do we get Americans to have faith in our system and in our Congress once again that has been lost? How are they going to get voters on board? I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. This is your breaking news, stimulus check update, and stimulus package update. Now, I've got an idea. How about you keep your promises? That's one way we could start. $2,000 stimulus checks, child tax credits, Social Security increases, wiping out student loan debt, free college tuition, free childcare, all of the promises that were made, that campaigns were run and won on. How about doing what you say? How about this crazy idea, actually trying to help people instead of politicizing and trying to win, to be in power, and then manipulating funds, excess funds that are there, especially, you guys, as we know that, take a look at this. I shared with you in a previous video that we need to buckle up. We're hearing the Federal Reserve saying that we are likely entering into a recession. Interest rate hikes are going to be on the way, and they've said be prepared for more pain to come. Man, what else do you need? And we've heard that the economy has been the #1 concern of the American people, just recently shifted to a concern about our democracy because they have lost so much faith in those that are in power and in charge because they don't do what they say they're going to do, and they don't help out people that are in need. And this is coming after we've already heard that there is literally $800, maybe $700 billion now of leftover stimulus package funds. That's right. All the packages of the past that were passed, we're hearing that all the money has not been used. A lot of people are saying, why pass another stimulus package, add more spending and more debt to the economy when you haven't even used all of the money that was made available before? And they're saying the president could reallocate, repurpose through executive action those funds and send out help to fulfill those promises that were made. And a lot of people are wondering why this hasn't been done, and some are speculating it could be midterm elections. It's all about timing. We've even heard Senator Joe Manchin vocalize this, that everything that you see that's unfolding right now, know that it's not just suddenly popping up, that it has been strategically planned, the timing to be done during elections to increase those approval ratings, which we're hearing is going according to plan. Even we've heard Republicans, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell vocalize, this is what's happening. And it's working, you guys. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date here on the channel of everything that unfolds. We're going to be hearing from Ro Khanna. But you guys, I'm going to keep you up to date on everything. Like I said, there's up to $3,000 that you could get for a new stimulus check in one state. People are wondering, what about federal level? I'm going to keep you up to date on everything and make it easy to get help and access everything that's available. All you got to do is go to www.reliefroadmap.com, add your email if you haven't already. Pretty soon, that page is going to be switching over from that email waiting list to the actual portal where you're going to be able to access everything. So that is coming here very soon, you guys. I am very hopeful I can get this done in the next couple of days, hopefully next 24 or 48 hours. So keep an eye out on that. If you haven't already, like I said, add your email. People don't realize it's not just the federal checks. There's states, there's cities, there's counties, there's new programs popping up all the time, like the one I'm going to be reporting to you right now. And in some cases, they're only available for a limited amount of time. You got to be eligible, you got to apply, you got to know about it, and sometimes it can take hours to track these things down. I know I've been doing it now for the past couple months. I have well over 100 different programs in locations across the nation, but you're going to have it all at your fingertips, able to access in seconds, you guys. So that's coming here very soon. Very excited to get that out to you. You're going to be able to see it on your phone, your tablet, your computer, you guys, and I'll be sure to keep you up to date. But with that being said, though, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate these updates, smash the like button for me. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not come join the Ram fam? I'll let you know everything going on as it unfolds, so that way you can stay up to date on everything, not miss out on anything. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Like I said, it's free. Why not? Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth, personal finance. More content coming on that channel soon. If you got any specific questions for for me, hop on to Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3, best way by far to get a hold of me. And with that being said, you guys, let's dive right into these articles and this video footage and get you caught up on the latest. So, link in the description below to this article that just recently came out that says direct payments. How to get a $1,000 back-to-school check from assistance for needy families. How you can get a direct payment of $1,000 for back to school. So this is for families. So it says there are thousands of American families who are going to be eligible to get a fresh direct payment of $1,000 from a $50 million pot. This will be useful to see if your family is eligible for this cash that will serve a back-to-school check. Idaho officials. So if you're in Idaho, listen up. Idaho officials are convinced that parents will have a chance to use this grant that is currently being provided from a $50 million pot, and it will be useful to buy all kinds of goods for kids that they will be able to use for school. Now, anything school related will be applicable here. Families will be able to claim up to $3,000 per household, according to the East Idaho News, and that is $1,000 per student, and every household can claim money for up to 3 students. So you can claim up to 3 children for your household, up to $3,000. This is a grant, so again, like I said before, you're likely going to need to apply for this. Now, I'm going to be providing additional hyperlinks, adding this to the relief roadmap, so if you're in Idaho, you can get instant access to everything you need. And you can see right here, this coming out on Twitter from the Idaho State Board of Education, and they have a hyperlink included. I'm going to be accessing this, putting it all into one easy location for you. So you guys, that is another stimulus check coming up, and as I mentioned, there's $300 billion in excess funds in California, 29 billion we're hearing reported in Texas, with more UBI programs coming in different cities across the state. Florida announced child tax credits. We're hearing about Georgia, Washington, D.C., Wisconsin, an assortment of different ones. Alabama announcing they have about $9 billion in excess funds. Flush with cash, states are trying to figure out, what do we do with all this money? And a lot of them are saying, send it back to the people. Now, the question is, will we see this on a federal level? Well, you guys, let's take a look at what Representative Ro Khanna has to say right now.
President Joe Biden is scheduled to give a primetime speech in Philadelphia tomorrow night. He's going to be addressing, quote, what he called the continued fight for the soul of the nation. That sounds familiar. It's because it is. It was essentially the theme of his 2020 campaign. And this comes as Democrats are looking to revamp their messaging leading up to the midterms and beyond in an attempt to win back voters who feel left behind by where the party has moved in the past few years. One of those Democrats who's been doing a lot of this traveling is Congressman Ro Khanna. He represents Silicon Valley, but as you and I were discussing, you sort of took this mission seriously early on. And when you first got here, essentially the old Stephen Colbert, get to know your districts, and you wanted to get to know a lot of districts, and you'd been doing it this way. Tell me about this trip. What makes this trip a little different?
Well, I went to factory towns, and I wanted to hear what people had to say. There was someone, Fred, who came up with a binder, 80 years old, of 40 plants that had closed in the last 40 years. And he said, look, this destroyed our community. It led to divorce. It led to suicide.
This guy, wait a minute. I want to stop here. Yeah. This guy brought you a binder.
A binder.
Where were you? What town?
It was in Anderson, Indiana, in a union hall. Yeah. And 80 years old. And then he mailed it to me. And part of them, people just want to be heard.
Sure.
I mean, they want to hear what has happened.
That's great analysis. Because what did they went through? Was it just Indiana that he was chronicling, or what?
Just Anderson.
Just Anderson of all the different companies.
All the companies that have moved offshore. And here, and here's the thing. I said, President's talking about making things in America. Someone turned to me and said, I thought that was a Donald Trump thing. I said, no, it was an FDR thing. But part of the challenge has been these communities have a legitimate gripe and grievance. It's that a lot of our production for 40 years has been offshored. And both parties, I mean, yes, it was partly Reagan, but it was both parties are to blame. And it's not just the white working class, it's the black working class, it's the Latino working class. Right. And so how are we going to bring that production back? And that's been part of my efforts.
I was just going to say, so give me your diagnosis. Look, I know these voters well. I've seen some surveys among union members all across the Midwest. They have no trust in the Democrats. And yet these are all former Democratic voters. And they were Democratic voters not that long ago. Most of them probably voted for Obama at least once, if not twice. But they've really, whatever it is, Donald Trump really penetrated the working class union Democrat. What did you discover about them?
Well, some of them, it's not just that they have lost hope in Democrats. It's worse than that, Chuck. It's some of them have lost hope in the American dream, in the country. And the challenge is, how are we going to convince them that the prosperity, the hope for their kids is going to exist? What I've been saying is, let's have the next generation of production here. We can't make masks in America. We can't make antibiotics in America. It's not just semiconductors. Why can't we produce these things? And by the way, we can be honest. It's not that everything from the past is going to come back, but we can have the next generation of manufacturing here. Singapore is doing it, and we can reindustrialize this country. And that, I think, is one of the best things that the Democrats can do to bring the country together.
So it sounds like what you're saying is there were some things Donald Trump said. Let's not talk about his actual policies, but some things that he said that Democrats should have paid attention to.
I don't know if it's what Donald Trump said, but it's certainly what the voters said.
I was just going to say what the voters heard, and they certainly heard that from him, right?
I think what they heard was our jobs have gone offshore, our jobs and production are no longer in the United States. Fine, but what were his policies? Corporate tax cuts that led to more offshoring. Right. And he didn't have an inclusive vision. I mean, I go there and I say, yes, we have to rebuild America, but it's going to be white working class. It's going to be immigrants. It's going to be the LGBTQ community. It's going to be everyone. And we're going to create new jobs, new economic prosperity. Let's call it a new economic patriotism. I think if it's just simple, we're going to make things in America. We have a forward-looking vision. I think we can win some people back.
So there you have it, you guys. That was Representative Ro Khanna from California. And let me know your thoughts on what he said. Do you think they're going to be able to reestablish the confidence of independents and Democrats across the nation to keep Democrats in power? Do you think Joe Biden is going to win in the 2024 elections? Do you think that Ro Khanna should run instead of Joe Biden? Should he run against him? Let me know your thoughts, you guys. There's a lot of stuff circulating around, but right now, as you know, everything is focused on these midterm elections. There's a lot of stuff starting to pop up, and as it does, I'll be sure to report it to you here on the channel so you know the latest. But as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. That's the latest information coming out on stimulus, Congress, and everything unfolding. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to take a quick second, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's free. Why not? Hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth, personal finance, and if you haven't already, don't forget, add your email at www.reliefroadmap.com. Going to be releasing the comprehensive list of every single stimulus check in the nation here very soon, so you can have access to everything so you don't miss out on anything. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.